This video is on the Pythagorean theorem. This is at the proficient level. We're asked to find the missing side of the given triangle. And we've got a right triangle, and it is only on right triangles that you can use the Pythagorean theorem. We know this is a right triangle because of this symbol here. It is also important we know which of the different sides we have. This symbol here points to the longest side, which is called the hypotenuse. And the other two are called legs. The legs are the two that make up the right angle. And so when we talk about a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we're talking about the length of one leg squared plus the length of the other leg squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And so it doesn't matter so much whether or not you use a squared plus b squared equals c squared or x squared plus y squared equals z squared. They do that in some other countries. You could really use any variables in there at all. You can even switch them up if you said, let's say b squared plus c squared equals a squared. It wouldn't matter so long as you know that this a represents the hypotenuse, this c represents the leg, and this b represents the other leg. So, but what we usually do is we usually see it like this. Now, in this case, I've got one of the legs is x squared plus 8 squared, and then that's equal to the square of the hypotenuse, or 12 squared. And so here we have some options. I could subtract to get rid of this. The opposite of adding would be subtracting. Or I can square it and then subtract it. Either way, it's got to be subtracted. So let's let's go ahead and just square these. So this is 8 squared is 8 times 8. That's 64. Is equal to 12 squared. That's 144. And now, if I subtract that 64 from both sides, here that cancels, and we are left with x squared alone. And over here should give us 0 here, and then 14 minus 6 of this would be 80. So x squared is equal to 80. And I'm just going to copy that up here so I have a little more space. X squared is equal to 80. The opposite of squaring, with my students, I often show them this. Like if I've got the opposite of adding is subtracting, kind of the little yin-yang symbol, yin and yang symbol. And then if the opposite of multiply is divide, and the opposite of squaring a number is taking the square root. And so we're going to take the square root here and here. And often we would put a plus or minus there because you can have a positive or negative value that would solve that little equation. But we're going to ignore the positive or negative this time and just take the principal square root, which is positive, because you can't have a negative distance. And since we're looking for the distance here, you can't have that. That can't be negative. Distances are always positive. And so let's see. I'm going to take that off then. X then is equal to the square root of 80, which if it was the square root of 81 would be exactly 9. But since it's the square root of 80, it's going to be 8 point something, probably 8.9, and it's an irrational number. So we can simplify it. We take 80 and we break it down with the prime factors. The smallest prime factor, the only even prime factor, is 2. 82 goes into 80 40 times, and I just keep going until it's no longer even. 2 goes into 40, 20. 2 goes into 20, 10. 2 goes into 10, 5. 5 is not even, so now I have to go, but 5 is prime. So I can just say, well, 5 goes into itself one time, and when you get to 1, you're done. These then I have one pair of 2's. That's 2 times 2 is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. And then I have another pair of 2's. Again, that comes out as a 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and this 5 does not have a pair, so it stays inside the radical. So this is 4 square root of 5. This is the exact answer. Exact. But a lot of times it's more useful to us if we have the approximate answer. I cannot put 4 square root of 5 on my tape measure. I don't know where that is. So the approximate answer is when we put this in our calculator and we say, what's 4 square root of 5? 4, not alpha. Sorry, here, 4 square root of 5. And that would give me 8.9. Let's go out to the hundredths place, 8.94. And so this is x is approximately equal to 8.94. And those are our answers. That's the exact answer. This is the same thing. You can also put in the square root of 80 just so that you can see the square root of 80. That they have the same, that 4 square root of 5 is equal to that same decimal value as the square root of 80. They are equal, but 4 square root of 5 has been simplified. And so let's see, en español. Ahora, aquí dice que hay que encontrar el lado faltante de este triángulo dado. Given es dado. Entonces tenemos un triángulo rectángulo que tiene 8 pies y X es el otro. Y leg en español es catetos. Son 2 catetos. Y 12 pies, el lado más largo, es la hipotenusa. En español se dice hipotenusa. Hypotenuse en inglés, pero en español hipotenusa. Entonces lo ponemos aquí, la fórmula, que es a cuadrado más b cuadrado igual a c cuadrado, donde a y b representan los catetos, los legs, y c representa la hipotenusa. Entonces, con esta información, x es x cuadrado, 8 pies es el 8 cuadrado, y el otro, el lado más largo, siempre es el que está solito en un lado del signo igual, 12 cuadrado. Entonces, si lo pones x cuadrado, da 64. En el otro lado, 12 cuadrado es 12 por 12, 144. Entonces, hay que restar. Le restas 64 para quitarlo de ahí. Le restas al otro lado para mantener el equilibrio. Y 144 menos 80. Perdón, 144 menos 64 es 80. Y el x cuadrado está solito en este lado. Entonces subimos aquí. Y veamos que si teníamos así, x cuadrado es igual a 80. Recuerda que lo opuesto de sumar es restar. Lo opuesto de multiplicar es dividir. Y lo opuesto de elevar algo al cuadrado es tomarle la raíz cuadrada. Entonces, x cuadrado es igual a 80. Se toma la raíz cuadrada de ambos lados. Y la raíz cuadrada de 80 se puede simplificar. Lo simplificas tomando este 80 dividido entre 2 es 40. 40 dividido entre 2 es 20. 20 dividido entre 2 es 10. Y 10 dividido entre 2 es 5. Y 5 es un número primo. Así que 5 entre sí mismo es 1. Y tengo aquí un par de números 2, y eso es 2 por 2, que es 4. La raíz cuadrada de 4 es 2. 2 por 2 también 4. La raíz cuadrada de 4 es 2. 2 por 2 es 4. Y este 5 no tiene par, no tiene otra pareja, así que eso se queda adentro de la radical. Y aquí, entonces, veamos que 4 radical 5 es la respuesta, y es la respuesta exacta. Mientras que 8.94 es la aproximación. Si lo pones en la calculadora, como vemos aquí, 4 radical 5 es 8.94. Se queda en 4 porque el siguiente dígito es 4, entonces se redondea para abajo, se lo deja en 4. Pero lo puse en ambas maneras, es raíz cuadrada de 40, perdón, de 80, es 8.9, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. Y ese 4 radical 5 también es lo mismo. Entonces, así como se hace.